Are you thinking of selling your home on your own? Here are 8 reasons why you should work with a real estate agent. What's up, you guys? It's Josh Tavares, real estate agent with eXp Realty Brokerage based in Toronto. In our channel, we talk about real estate investing, marketing, and personal branding. Remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and jiggle the notification bell to get updates on our newly uploaded content. When looking to sell your home on your own, you might be thinking to yourself, man, I'm gonna be saving a ton of cash. However, after watching this video, you're going to learn that it might not be worth the time, money, or even the headaches involved to do so. Number 1, some realtors may not show a for sale home by owner to their clients. Now, with a for sale by owner, the acronym is FSBO. As a real estate agent, they know that when communicating with the home seller, they may not be a professional on the other side. They might be making a lot of decisions that are very emotional and not rational. Even if a client insists to see it, now I don't recommend that any real estate agents do this, but some may discourage their clients in seeing that property. And if they do decide to see it, they might put a significantly lower offer, just thinking the fact that the seller may not know what it takes to get it sold and may be desperate, and which is why they would put in a lower offer than expected. A buyer's agent is going to cite some hassles and risks involved with working with a seller rather than working with the real estate agent on the opposing end. Now, experienced real estate agents may have had a bad experience with some of these for sale by owners, whether it being commission, closing, deposits, or whatever it may be. So it may make it easier for them to want to dissuade their client from wanting to see that property and seeing a property that has the representative of a real estate salesperson who knows exactly what they're doing, opposed to a seller who's more worried about how much money they can save and would be more emotional and less strategic and tactical on their approach. Now, for sale by owners, many times are viewed as being unreasonable, unrealistic, and difficult to work with on the opposing end. Number 2, agents avoid emotional sales. Selling your home can be an emotional process, and why it's super important to work with a real estate representative who has the strategies, the tactics, the information needed to position you with having the best opportunity to get more money and less time and position your home for success rather than mediocrity. Now, with working with a real estate representative, you're going to be working with someone who may come off less eagerness and desperate, and that speaks volumes, of course, than being a for sale by owner, where it may become very easy on your response on how desperate you are to get the home sold, which by having someone in your corner backing you up, having the right words to say and the right methods of communication, it increases the probability of you getting your home sold for more money and less time and not giving a bad signal to the opposing side. Now, with working with a real estate representative, you're not going to be dealing with the rejection firsthand, so there won't be that emotional connection associated. Many homeowners believe that their home is far superior than many others. So, of course, if they hear some sort of negativity towards it, they're going to be a lot more upset and make an emotional decision, whereas a real estate representative will be able to say, given the information and facts that we have, we're making the right decision accordingly, rather than say something that would be maybe inappropriate or unacceptable to the other side. With working with an agent, they'll be able to take the sting out of any rejection and be able to turn it around into a positive manner onto your property. Also, as a homeowner, it becomes challenging to know exactly what the issue is to why your home may not be selling. With working with a real estate representative, they'll look at many different factors and statistics to provide you the reason why and provide you a bit of insight as to what we can do to get your home sold quicker. Number 3, real estate can be a full-time job. Now, when it comes to selling your home, of course, many homeowners believe that it is a very easy job, but there's a lot of back-end work, paperwork, and processes that have to be fulfilled correctly and diligently, right? And especially when many homeowners have family arrangements, they have work arrangements and everything else in between, it can be very challenging to do a successful job to get your home sold very quickly. Now, when it comes to selling your home on your own, there's a lot of work involved. There's the marketing side, there's perhaps the financing side, there's the legal side, there's knowing all the rules and be able to fill everything appropriately, be able to have your home staged accordingly. There's a lot of work involved, and some homeowners don't understand that and become very overwhelmed and very easily eventually within a short time frame have their home on the market, give in and do work with a real estate representative. So it is a very difficult job at times that involves a lot of work that some homeowners don't really understand until they get their feet in those shoes. And as we said earlier, by doing this on your own, there's a good chance that you may get a lot of low offers, sell your home for less than the market value, and actually lose out on money. And there's even chance for litigation issues if you're not doing things appropriately and fulfilling your duties, whereby working with a real estate representative, they're able to guide you along the process and do a lot of the work for you so things are done due diligently and successfully without there being any legal lawsuits on your behalf. Number 4, agents have access to a large network. Now you might be thinking to yourself, well, I'll just put my home on Realtor.ca and that's it. But there's a lot of work involved with getting the most exposure onto your property to get it sold. You have to put it on Realtor.ca, maybe put out some ads, promote it all over social media, have direct mail, maybe door hangers. You know, you may want to start calling people in the neighborhood who might be looking to buy. There's so much work involved when it comes to marketing your property and being able to access as many people, right? You may not know a group of people who might be interested in buying your property. We're working with a real estate representative. They can do all that marketing for you. It doesn't come up front. Of course, they'll receive that via their commission, but they'll be able to access their large network, put out ads and emails and go door to door, whatever tactic they decide to use, so they can get as much exposure and get your home sold for top dollar. Also, with working with the real estate representative, they have access not only to their own database, they have access to other agents they can reach out to who specialize in those areas, who may have a potential buyer who wants to move into the area, making it much easier to find a qualified buyer to get your home sold. So a lot of things here that you may want to consider when looking to sell on your own, a lot of work and a lot of time, money, and effort involved in marketing. Because it can be actually hundreds, if not over $1,000, if not more, depending on how much effort in marketing is being done on professional photography, signs, ads. There's so much work involved that as an agent, they're not billing you up front, but they receive those funds, of course, back via the commission of selling your home if you choose to work with a real estate agent. Number 5, weeding out unqualified buyers. Now, with working with a real estate representative, you're going to be working with someone who's experienced, who knows how to weed out people who just want to view the property. It's very important to have someone who's going to qualify any buyers, because some people just want to see the property, have no intention or have no clients at all looking to visit the property. That's why it's very important to know how to vet some people and ask some particular qualifying questions to find out if someone is actually interested or they're just there to just take some photos or just walk around the property. If you decide to sell your home on your own, it would be a lot of work for you to have to go back and forth to have people look at the property who may not actually be qualified to look at the property in financing respect. So it's important to have someone represent you who'll be able to give you back your time, because remember, time is money. Now, when listing your home, I recommend that you're not at home during the showings. It may make the buyer feel uncomfortable and less likely to put in an offer. So I highly recommend that you're not present. Maybe go for a walk, leave the facility, make sure everything's in good, clean order, and then come back once the showing is done. Number 6, price negotiation skills. Even if you have a background in sales, you still need to have a lot of the information and the experience and skills associated, because many real estate representatives have all the background data for comparables. They know how the market is performing. And because it's not their personal property, there's not going to be any personal bias. So they're more likely to look at pricing it appropriately, and when their offers to be able to counter offer respectively, instead of going much higher than what the property is asked. Many times sellers believe their property is, $5 to $20 to even sometimes $50,000 more than everyone else's, and they may look at minor details to say, well, my property has this and the neighbor's doesn't, and that may make a big difference. But do remember that there's a sense of bias there, and not everyone sees those particular elements the same way as you as the current homeowner. Now, with an agent, they'll know all the warning signs, all the games to play, everything associated when it comes to offer time. They'll know if someone's serious, how serious they are, right? So there's so many things involved, where if you're perhaps a for sale by owner, you might think that someone says, oh, they're interested. So you might stop everything you're doing and come off desperate. And the opposing side, it might give you a low offer, or might not give you an offer at all, and it leaves you waiting by your computer side or by your phone, waiting to hear about some sort of offer coming in. So that's something that you don't want to portray, because of course that sense of desperation and nervousness is going to speak volumes to the opposing side and will actually hinder you in getting your home sold for top dollar. And because of the lack of experience that comes with for sale by owners, you're more inclined to be emotional and actually maybe fight back with the other agent, or not get your home sold because you're believing your property is worth significantly more, when the market is the market and the market dictates what your property is worth based on supply and demand, and not understanding that your own rationale of what you believe your property is worth is not the same as to the market. So I've seen, some sellers lose out on selling their home because they thought their property was priced well, when actually it was priced maybe $25,000, $30,000, $50,000 above asking, and didn't get it sold. And for that reason, they ended up, of course, working with a real estate salesperson after that. Also, working with an agent, they're going to know about all the trends in the market, all the improvements in the neighborhood, and things that a typical homeowner may not know because they're just so busy and they're not so involved into what's happening in their nearby community or the market as a whole. So that's why these sales representatives get paid such a well commission, is because they're on the pulse of everything happening, not only in the market, but the neighborhood as well. There could be some improvements, like some sort of employment increasing in the neighborhood, a new development coming in that could significantly increase or of course decrease the value of the property. So it's something that a real estate representative will have your best interest and know the best way to go about it, rather than going through emotions. Also, with working with an agent, they're going to know all the fees and legality and everything to be done appropriately, where if you're a homeowner who's actually looking to sell their home, you might not actually know about all the fees associated and who you have to pay, and everything is so out. So you may believe that you're going to get exactly your property for that price range, but you may be mistaken of some fees that may be associated come on closing or come the tax season. Number 7, this is a big one: ignore your home flaws. Working with an agent, they are experienced in knowing what it takes to get your home sold and how it should be presented. Remember, you have a biased conceived notion of how your home is, but you may not understand that your home needs to be shown a particular way to increase the value and get your home sold for more money and less time. Also, with working with an agent, they'll provide you with the right feedback. They can get you some staging, get appropriate photography, videography, get the best exposure for your home, so you're able to get the best presentation for your home, which is unbiased, and get you the most attention, and hopefully, of course, lead to the best end result for you and your property. It's important to have the right services involved, such as a stager, photography, videography, cleaner on site, having everything look pristine, because if it's not going to be pristine, it's going to take a lot longer to sell, and it's going to be a turnoff for many buyers, and it's going to leave you in a desperate situation where you may not get as much money for your home, and you'll maybe get it sold in more time for less money. Number 8, exposure to legal risks. Now, when transacting and selling your home, there's a lot of paperwork that needs to be fulfilled accordingly, and if it's not done so, you can actually be legally liable on the opposing side. So you want to make sure that you've done all your due diligence and you fulfill your obligations as set out in the agreement of purchase and sale and any paperwork associated with selling your home. Now, with being a seller, you need to expose material facts. So anything that has an issue in the property, any health concerns, you have to expose that, or else you'll be legally liable. So if the basement gets very moist and from time to time there is a flood, you have to expose that information. If there's some molding, there's some sort of a gas leak, you have to expose it. Ideally, of course, fix these concerns, but for some reason, if you're not able to afford to fix these concerns, you have to let the opposing side know so they can make the correct choice and know that they weren't miscued, because there are times where the transaction is done, they were told the property is in perfect condition. Now on closing, someone receives the property and gets a leaky, flooded basement, and they become very upset as they were never notified of the dampness or the drain issue or whatever the condensation water issue is. They become very upset, and the opposing side could get sued significantly. So it's something you would be very mindful of. Working with an agent, they'll know exactly what the root of the problem is and the correct service providers involved to help fix that problem to get your home sold as soon as possible without any flaws. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to put a rug over an issue, it's going to come back to you tenfold legally. And with working with a real estate professional, they'll be able to find the right folks to get that done for you at a reasonable price. Also, with working as a real estate agent, they have errors and omission insurance. So in the event that something did take place, the real estate agent could use their own personal insurance to help pay off for the damages. Where as a homeowner, you do have your property insurance, but your insurance provider may not provide you with the insurance coverage because it's something that is negligence on your side. So you could be the one being sued and and have to make those payments out of hand. So something to be mindful of when choosing to work with a real estate agent or not. There you have it, everything that you need to know about either listing on your own or working with a real estate agent. I hope this video was super helpful, insightful, and helps you make the right choice. Remember to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and jiggle the notification bell to get updates on our newly uploaded content. I'm Josh Tavares, licensed realtor with eXp Realty Brokerage based in Toronto. See you next time.